In this video, we will be discussing the BAMTEC IFC import. Several new commands have been added to the program, and these are related to importing. As a first step, we launched the free IFC file management program called BIM Tools, which is included with SBeXpress. There, we open the desired IFC drawing. We can see the entire model with all reinforcement included in the model, together with punching elements and everything else. The first step is to filter the drawing so that only the desired reinforcement remains. To do this, we select the appropriate property set within the IFC file, the corresponding property, and the desired value. This can vary significantly from one IFC file to another. Here we can see the bars from which we want to create BAMTEC reinforcement. There are also a few errors visible here. The base bars are placed very densely in this area. We will need to pay attention to this later and delete them, otherwise the program will complain about it. Next, we save the reinforcement in DXF format, saving only the filtered objects. After that, we can close the IFC model viewer and import the DXF file we just created. Here we can see all the straight bars. The program automatically filters out bent bars. We can also see that several different bar directions occur in this drawing. Next, we load our preferred styles and settings using this function. This DXF file is currently completely empty and contains none of the settings we previously created, so we load them now. Our preferred settings can be created using the Export Styles function. In the next step, we assign the different bar groups to BAMTEC reinforcement layers. As we can see, the program has found 4 bar groups. It shows the number of bars and their direction. For example, 14.5 degrees corresponds to this direction. It also shows how many bars belong to the group and the inclination angle of the slab relative to the XY plane. These bars actually have a slight slope, but 0.7 degrees is so small that we do not need to concern ourselves with it. We can also see the relative Z coordinate here. For 2 layers it is 0, and for the other 2 it is 12.5 millimeters. We assign the higher bars to the second, lower reinforcement layer. We can also inspect which group represents which direction. This is the 14-degree direction. This is the 58-degree direction. This is the 104-degree direction, and so on. After that, we can create a slab contour based on the bars, and we convert all IFC reinforcement bars into standard SBeXpress reinforcement bars. We can then close this dialog because we will no longer need it. At the moment, only the first reinforcement layer is active. We now enable the BAMTEC layers. We can see that the program has assigned directions to the slab. The first direction is 14 degrees, and the second direction is 104 degrees. For now, we will only work with the first layer. Here we can see an area that has a different bar direction. However, only a single reinforcement direction can be assigned to a slab, although this can later be overridden at the mat level. A new function has been added that creates a reinforcement carpet contour from existing bars. I now select these bars and create a carpet contour for them. The program automatically changed the direction to the correct one based on the bars. Now we will try to distribute the remaining carpets as well. For this, we first use the Assign Splices and Cuts command. At first, the program considers a bounding rectangle approximately like this one. I am not drawing it completely, but in our case it would be preferable if the distribution started from the opposite direction. So I will try again. To distribute from the other direction, we need to check this option. This is also a new feature. Now it starts from the opposite side. This time we obtain the desired result. We will also perform some manual adjustments so that we do not end up with so many different carpets. Here we can see one of the duplicate bars that we had already noticed as an error in the IFC file. There was another one somewhere else as well. If we fail to notice and delete these, the program will warn us later. I cannot find it right now, but we will see where it is later. We now divide the reinforcement into carpets. The program detected that one carpet already exists, so we do not delete it. We execute the collection process. Now we can begin correcting the errors. Here we can see some carpets that are not needed. This small triangular piece is unnecessary, and this contour will not ultimately look exactly like this either. For this carpet, we set it so that it is not checked. We allow it to be rolled out. We also set these others so that they are not checked. Collect. With this function, we can generate temporary references for the carpets. This is useful because it allows us to inspect the result in color without any distracting geometry. Here we can see the individual carpets. For example, in this strip it would be preferable to use only 2 carpets instead of 3. I will correct that now. I do so by merging this carpet with its neighbor and then merging it with the third one as well. Now we have one large carpet. We then cut it in the splice direction. Now we perform another collection. Let's examine the result. These are generally fine. There is still a small issue here, but there is probably nothing we can do about it. It is only held by a single band, but the bar is too short anyway. At this location, we can see the duplicate bar error that we did not fix earlier. The program has highlighted it. We delete one of the duplicate bars. After running the collection again, that error should disappear. We perform another check. There are still some issues here. This is a band-related error. We move the band so that the bars marked in red are supported by at least 2 bands. We collect again. We run another check. Now we have obtained an acceptable result. A small amount of reinforcement is still missing, but there is nothing that can be done about it because these bars are too short. The second reinforcement layer must be processed in exactly the same way. Thank you very much for your attention.